Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Hayya ala salah. Hayya ala salah. Hayya ala falah. Hayya ala falah. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا من سيئات أعمالنا. من يهد الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له. وأشهد أن محمد عبده ورسوله. I give you all the greetings of Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Wa Jumu'ah Mubarak. يقول الله عز وجل, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, highly glorified is He, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطيع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد, my dear brothers and sisters and brothers again, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Wa Jumu'ah Mubarak. Alhamdulillah, we're blessed to be here on this great Eid, Eid al-Jumu'ah. As Allah has told us, لدينا ثلاثة أعياد. We have three holidays: Eid al-Jumu'ah, Eid al-Fitr, and Eid al-Adha. And we should remind ourselves of this because we live here in America and we are constantly bombarded and assaulted by the festivities of these times, so much so that we acquiesce and we become a part of them. But in fact, the Rasul was there to see everything that we have seen. Every core concept of the holidays that we see are from the worship of the sun. So he saw all of these things, and he was asked by one of his companions, could they join? And that's when he stood up and said, لدينا ثلاثة أعياد, Eid al-Jumu'ah, Eid al-Fitr, and Eid al-Adha. So to celebrate our times, we have about 54 times to do that, right? 52 for the Salat Jum'ah, and then to Ayat, Idul Fitr, and Idul Adha. We have all these times. If we inundate our kids with this message by providing them with small little toys, like if a little girl that just walked in, a little bitty toy, a little sucker, some sort of gift to let her know this is for Salat Jum'ah, and this is done every week, every Yom Jum'ah, then she will become desensitized to what she sees in society as it relates to these false, fake holidays that are based upon shirk. But that's not my message. I just want to identify that this is an Eid and we should celebrate it. That is, the special dinner should be done on this day. Going out to dinner should be done on this day. Shopping done on this day. See, because we know from where we come from, it was the Sunday dinner at the church. You see, all the good times were associated with Sunday for us before we were Muslim. You see? So we have to counter that by choosing the right holiday, Yom Jum'ah, and then celebrate it accordingly in minor manners, you see, with our children, so they will be accustomed to feeling good about Yom Jum'ah. Again, that's not our message. Today, we want to talk about being steadfast with your worship of Allah Azza wa Jal. Being steadfast with the worship of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. So Allah, He says, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم فأقم وجهك للدين حنيفا فطرة الله التي فطر الناس عليها لا تبديل لخلق الله ذلك الدين القيم ولكن أكثر الناس لا يعلمون. So Allah, He says, فأقم وجهك للدين حنيفا. Turn your faces towards the way of life that is upright, that is righteous. Deenul Hanifa. And why did He say turn your face? Because this part of the face contains the nasiya. It's a mechanism that Allah gave us, whereby we can discern between halal and haram, right and wrong. So when we see things, automatically we start to analyze, as to whether or not this is a good thing or a bad thing for us and others. He says, فِطْرَةَ اللَّهِ الَّتِي فَطَرَ النَّاسَ عَلَيْهَا. That is the way of life of which He is inculcated in the nature of the human being. Naturally, we have a natural inclination to ati'ullah, to obey Allah Azza wa Jal. In the context that this mechanism is called the hunafa, where the little baby that's back there, right now she has a natural inclination to do good. Little kids, they're good. They learn how to be bad. They acquire bad habits. All of us were the same way. In our original nature, before we were sullied, before we were contaminated by this society, and maybe sometimes by our parents, we were good. And an inclination to be good. He says, لا تبديل لخلق الله. You cannot alter the nature Allah Ta'ala has put in place. He put in us a nature to desire to worship Him. The human being, the animals, everything that exists has a desire to worship Allah Azza wa Jal. The trees worship Allah Azza wa Jal. The mountains, everything does its deal. Of course, is al-ghaib to us. Al-ghaib, the unseen, is that which is unavailable to our rational mind and also unavailable to our physical eyes. That is al-ghaib. So how they worship and what they do, inna Allah bi kulli shay'in alim. Allah Ta'ala, He is the best of those, He's the best knower of that. So He says, la tabdila khalqi la. We cannot alter the nature that is what Allah has given us. Since He has given us a nature to worship, if we are enlightened, then we will worship Him, bi'idhnillah. But if we're in the dark, we will worship, but it won't be Him. need money, women, sun, the sun worshipers. And any other form of worship, worshiping drugs. Some people, they worship marijuana, they worship cocaine, they worship Jack Daniels. They worship these things. They gotta have it. But we're gonna worship something. He says, ذَلِكَ دِينُ الْقَيِّمِ. This is the standard in religion. The standard of our religion is to ibadullah. Is to ibadullah. Worship Allah Azza wa Jal. The standard in this religion is, as the Prophet said, he says, ad-dinu mu'amila. Religion is good treatment. So we have to be consistent and steadfast in good treatment. Steadfast in ibadullah. Worshipping Allah Azza wa Jal. Steadfast in ati'ullah wa ati' Rasul. Why? La'alakum turhamun. That is to be obedient to Allah Azza wa Jal and to be obedient to His Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. La'alakum turhamun. When he says la'ala, it means he has a happy expectation that you will accomplish this deal. He wants it for us. So the ad-deen al-qayyim, it is a natural way to live. Ad-deen meaning the way of life. And it is perverse. It is abnormal for the human being to walk away from his Lord or to walk away from her Lord. It is abnormal. It is unrighteous. And the body becomes out of harmony, becomes disharmonious. The soul is out of kilt with the body, and the mind is out of kilt with the body, and everything's just all mixed up. So you got drug rehab centers where people are going because their minds and their bodies are all mixed up. They thought they can get that peace and that satisfaction from these bottles and from these joints and what have you. They thought they could find satisfaction in these women, not their wives. Or in the case of women, these men, not their husbands. They thought they could find satisfaction through various temporary pleasures. It's not going to happen when the body is in tune and reorientated. Baqim wajha Deen Hanifa. When the body is reorientated with Deen Hanifa, it finds peace. It finds an everlasting peace with no consequences, no headaches, no nausea, no crazed mentality, having a nervous breakdown, because we are back together. Steadfast means to be resolute, unwavering, being constant and committed. So when we say we'll be steadfast, we want to stay constant and committed, because this way of life is a marathon. It's a long-lasting effort until our death. We have to understand that, again, we became victims of our environment and of our parents. Between the two of them, we lost our way at some time. And alhamdulillah, we're here today. And some of you all have been here a very, very long time. About 50 years, some of you all. Because I've been Muslim for 39 years in April. It'd be 39 years when I was standing right there and took my shahada. It'd be 39 years. So you all were here a long time ago, 50 plus years. Being constant and steadfast. How can we acquire this ability to be constant and steadfast? Allah says, He says in the Quran, Utlu ma uhiya ilayka min al-kitab. Recite from the book what has been revealed to you. Directly to the Rasul Sallam, but then to us. We have to read the book, recite the book, stay in contact with the book. Because why? Al-Quran huwa shafa' wa rahma lil mu'mineen. The Quran is a healing and a mercy to the human essence. The Quran brings wholeness to the heart. It was a brother when I first took my Shahada, his name was Khalil. And I was walking down those stairs, and he said, brother, congratulations, you're Muslim, but you got to hear this. And he said, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. And as he kept reciting, I'm like, what is he saying? Because I could feel the peace go through my whole body. I could feel serenity. I could feel a satisfaction that Jack and the blunts couldn't bring. I felt this peace that was beyond, women. This peace that was unmatched. I felt it through my whole body. I said, whatever he's saying, I gotta learn it. That was my motivation. I gotta learn this. So when you recite the Quran goes right to the soul. The Quran touches the heart of those who have a pure heart. Now, I know we all have had our past transgressions, but comparatively, us here versus those who are not, who are still out there in those clubs and blind pigs, our hearts have been purified and cleansed and cleaned up. So when we hear the Quran, it has an effect on our demeanor. It has an effect on our psyche. It has an effect on our emotions, and we have to submit to it. We have to respond to what we heard. Waqimu salat, that's the next part. Waqimu salat. He says, recite the book. Waqimu salat, and establish prayer. We can't pray except that we have to recite the book and reflect upon what we're saying. Al-Fatiha and other ayat, when we read, we should have a connection with what is being said. This helps to bring a healing and a wholeness to the self. Because he says, وَقِيمُوا الصَّلَاةَ إِنَّ الصَّلَاةَ تَنْهَى عَنِ الْفَحْشَاءِ وَالْمُنكَرِ. He says, establish the prayer. Why? And by the way, that means to pray on time. Aqimu salat means to pray on time. And to establish a place for praying on time. Masjid, place of sajda. Sujood, sajda, masjid, the place for sujood. Establish a place to pray in on time. He says, Inno salata tanha anil fahsha'i wal munkar, because the salah will cause you to stay away from perversion and adultery. Wal munkar, and then you'll stay away from evil. You'll stay away from rationalized evil, where you try to legitimize selling lottery tickets out the gas station. You try to legitimize holding a raffle in the masjid. By the nature of raffle is to gamble. You start to legitimize. It'll help you to stop legitimizing, rather, smoking weed, medical marijuana, brother. The Indians did it. No. Haram, brother. The author says, the Prophet said, Kullu maskarin haram. Every intoxicant is haram. Wa kullu maskarin khamra. And every intoxicant is khamra. And khamra is haram. Done. So, that happened to me when I first became Muslim. Some dude came up, I knew this guy before I became Muslim. I didn't know he was a Muslim. Well, I'm a Muslim too, brother. And you can smoke the herb, it's from the earth, and yada yada. I'm like, So the salah will help us to avoid munkar, rationalizing haram. The salah will bring consistency to our lives. It'll put us on a pattern of conduct where we strive to stay out of trouble. It's a motivation. The salah, in essence, it helps to nurture taqwa, the reality that Allah Ta'ala exists. We'll be aware of Him more. Why? إِنَّ اللَّهَ خَبِيرٌ بِمَا تَعْمَلُونَ. Because Allah Ta'ala is ever aware of what we're doing. So when we pray, we're in constant contact with worshiping Allah Azza wa Jal. We begin to grow in our commitment, in our being more steadfast in everything we do. No one has to make us pray. Munir didn't have that problem per se, I didn't think. But, now I know he doesn't have a problem. But when he was a little boy, maybe he tried to, I'm going to pray later. But as he grew into his religion, he's here. Look at him. Sabrine, she's here. People who, they were little kids, like these little babies in the room right now, they grew up and stayed committed to the religion, which is the objective, to pass it on. So the salah builds an awareness in us that we cannot escape Allah Azza wa Jal. There's nothing we can do. We can hide in the deepest black part of any part of the earth, in a cave with black dirt, in the deepest dark of the night, and wear the blackest clothing we can wear, and cover up our mouth so they can't see the teeth, and wear some black shades. He still sees us. He's still aware. He's aware of what we feel and what we think. Nothing escapes him. So the salah brings this to us. And he says, وَلَذِكْرُ اللَّهِ أَكْبَرُ. The greatest thing we can do is remember Allah Azza wa Jal. I mean, we got people, they memorizing rap records and this and that, all other business. Memorize kalimatullah, the words of Allah Azza wa Jal, at least some of them. And you'll see how your heart will be affected by these words being in your heart. Because if you are serious and you're committed, cuss words in Quran cannot come out of the same mouth. You recite Quran, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Hamim, Ain, Sin, Qaf. And then you say something bad. Is that working? That doesn't work. You can't say the greatest words and then come back with the worst words. The Quran helps to correct the tongue, heal the tongue, heal the mindset, change the focus. So we have to understand that there's some things we can do. Because see, when we pray, we're making dua as well, and we ask Allah Ta'ala to help us with our problems and our troubles. No human being can solve our problems and our troubles. They can be used to help us and set us on a path to change our ways, what have you, but only because Allah Ta'ala inspired them and sent them to you and sent them to me. It wasn't the person, it was the one who sent the person that helped you in all reality, and that being Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala azza wa jalla. So reciting the Quran, making salah, keeps us in the proper frame of mind and inspiration, that is, that we have the motivation to worship Allah azza wa jalla. But the Prophet said, if we don't pray, we don't believe in Allah azza wa jalla. Prayer solidifies it gives the proof. Your prayer is a testimony that you do believe in Allah Azza wa Jal. And if you don't pray, you don't believe, no matter what you say. No matter what you say. Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, He wants to give us benefits. He says, قَالَ قَدْ أُجِيبَتْ دَعْوَتُكُمَا فَاسْتَقِيمَا وَلَا تَتَّبِعَانِّي سَبِيلَ الَّذِينَ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ. Allah Ta'ala, He said, قَدْ أَجِيبَتْ دَعْوَتُكُمَا. Allah Ta'ala, He will answer, respond to your dua. He answers the dua. He says, continue then, both of you, to be steadfast. So, we pray, we ask, and we remain patient as we pursue the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in our lives. He says, وَلَا تَتَّبِعَانِي سَبِيلَ الَّذِينَ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ. He says, and don't follow those who do not have knowledge of right and wrong. Don't follow the type person, don't let the main person you follow be someone who is oblivious to the Quran, oblivious to the message, al-risala, the message from Quran. Don't let them form your thought as to how you should live your life. Don't take the word of any psychiatrist, Dr. Phil, whoever else, don't take any psychiatrist's message as haq, as the truth. And you live your life accordingly. What did Allah tell us? He said, لَقَدْ كَانَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ. In the example, in the pattern of conduct of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you have the most exquisite pattern of conduct to follow, blindly or with knowledge. If we don't understand what he did, do it anyway, and then say, Rabbi zidni ilma. My Lord, please increase my knowledge, so I can understand what happened, what he said, what was the message, what was the hikmah, what was the wisdom behind it, so I could benefit from it and teach others. But don't turn away because you don't understand. Investigate. Iqra. Bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq. Read in the name of your Lord, meaning to read with desire to please your Lord, not be arrogant when you acquire knowledge, but read so that you can benefit from the information in your life and teach others. Those who excel in knowledge are those whom Allah Ta'ala, He chooses. And He chooses them not because they're intelligent. He chooses them because of their strong iman, their strong faith in Him. Because a person believes in Allah Azza wa Jal so much, then He will make it easy for them to follow Him. And the ease comes whereby, as He says in Surah Al-Zumar, that's Surah 39, verse 18. He says, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الذين يستمعون القول فيتبعون أحسنه أولئك الذين هداهم الله وأولئك هم أولو الألباب. He says, الذين يستمعون القول, those who listen to the word, فيتبعون أحسنه, and follow the best application, follow the best meaning from it. أولئك الذين هداهم الله, these are the ones that are guided by Allah Azza wa Jal. وأولئك هم أولو الألباب, these are the ones who have been inspired with knowledge from Him. One of the words for heart, we got qalb, You got sudur, the depths of the heart, and you got lub, lub. Lub refers to the special part of the heart where divine inspiration comes to. So ulul albab are those who were inspired by Allah Ta'ala to understand because of their faith and belief, not their intelligence. Not they were genius. It is the faith and belief in Allah that makes you smart. What makes you dumb? When you understand and you reject. Summun bukmun umyun, deaf, dumb, and blind. But he has a PhD. He's a doctor. She's a dentist. She's a gynecologist. But she's stupid because she understands. She knows in her own heart. He knows in his own heart. La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. Because I'm not going to do this. I can't give my gambling parties. She says, I'm not going to do this. I ain't wearing that rag on my head. I got to show my hair. So people find ways as to why they reject this religion with knowledge. As a result, they lose their faculties of intelligence, fit Deen, in religion, and become those who are lost. So those who acquire the knowledge, Allah, he says in Surah Al-Mujadila, chapter 58, those who have strong faith, when they live their lives with this faith, he will send them ruh minhu, spirit from him, spirit from himself. That ain't spooky, he said it. He says he will support you with inspiration, with knowledge, because from his own spirit, he will inspire you to comprehend the truth and respond to it in the best way, ahsan, the highest way. This is what we want. This is what we must strive for. This is what we need. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. Brothers and sisters and brothers, there's a benefit that comes to us all the time when we engage in constant good behavior. We said at Deen Mu'alila, religion is good treatment. As much as you treat someone well, you will inspire them to want to be like you, follow you. They will want to be a Muslim because of your good treatment. Conversely, if you treat them poorly, treat them like trash. Allah says in the Quran, O Muhammad, if you were to be too hard on them, you would turn them away. Rough treatment, excessive treatment, bad treatment will turn people away from this religion, no matter how right it is, and it's 100% right, 100% correct. There's no peer to this way of life. There's no peer. There's only two religions anyway. Worshiping Allah as one, or worshiping the sun. You look at Catholicism, it is based upon sun worship. Check it out. All the symbols are even there. It's on the Pope's clothing, his tapestry. You see everything about sun worship. So there's only two ways to live our lives. Worshiping Allah as one, or worshiping the sun, of which you're worshiping the devil. The benefits of being steadfast. Also says, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ قَالُوا رَبُّنَا اللَّهُ ثُمَّ اسْتَقَامُوا تتنزل عليهم الملائكة ألا تخافوا ولا تحزنوا وأبشروا وبالجنة التي كنتم توعدون. He says, "Oh, our sustainer," he says, "Ask for this." He says, "Behold, as for those who say, our sustainer is Allah Azza wa Jal, and then be steadfast by pursuing the right way, upon them, alayhimul malaikatu, upon them, alla takhafu wa la tahzanu." Then these angels, they say, "Fear not and don't be sad." Then they say, وَأَبْشِرُوا بِالْجَنَّةِ, we have the good news of Jannah for you. الَّتِي كُنْتُمْ تُوعَدُونَ, we have the promise of paradise for you. There's a promise for your efforts of not going downtown to the casino. There's a promise for your efforts of being a good businessman, like this brother right here, Brother Naeem. He's always had a nice thing going. It is a reward for all of us when we dare to be different. The Prophet said, knowledge will be your best friend. Because when everybody else think about it, when you were a little boy, when you were little girls, and you want to go somewhere, everybody else going. Everybody else got one. Everybody else is going to the fire of hell too. Following everybody else is not necessarily the right thing to do. Sometimes you have to walk by yourself. I wanted my friends to come with me, and we all gonna be Muslim. Didn't happen that way. I had to walk by myself. And some of you had to walk by yourselves. Ray Ray wasn't coming. You had to come. Shanae, she wasn't coming either. But you had to come. It was written for you on the spot to respond to the knowledge that is sent down to you. That's why you see us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, فَلِذَلِكَ فَدْعُوا وَاسْتَقِمْ كَمَا أُمِرْتَ. We are commanded to follow what we are commanded. وَلَا تَتَّبِعْ أَهْوَاءَهُمْ. Not following the desires of people randomly. We have to follow the Quran straight. وَقُلْ آمَنْتُ بِمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهِ مِنْ كِتَابٍ. But we believe in what Allah has sent down from His book. أُمِرْتُ لِيَعْدِلَ بَيْنَكُمْ. And we are commanded to be fair and just. So if the Muslims are engaging in these habits, the world will change overnight. It's over 1 billion of us. But we're not doing anything with this book. We're acting just like Ahlul Kitab, the people of the book, who, because of they had some success, they forgot about Allah Azza wa Jal and started to pursue wealth, women, power, etc., excessively. Not fulfill their duties. Aqimu salat. Not do that. Not establish a prayer. Not give us zakat. You got people buying gold toilets. People spending. They got a house in the sky, $450 million plus. While countries around the world, Muslim countries, are ravaged by poverty and disease in all parts of the world. Why? Because of our neglect in this religion. That money was not given to them to just spend it frivolously. That money was a test to see what would they do if they had it. So it'd be fair and just. In order for us to be steadfast, you heard me say, and teach it, and teach, you heard me. Because Allah says, Quran, in Surah Jumu'ah, that He gave the responsibility to Ahlul Kitab, and they failed. They were like donkeys with books on their backs. we are too. Who are we bringing to the masjid? What things have we done? I'm not excluding myself. When we neglect our duties of Quran, which is to believe it, read it, learn it, live it, teach it. If we don't do those things, we become victims, like our brothers across the waters and our sisters across the waters have become victims of their negligence. Around the world, you have communities that are 1,400, 1,200, 800 years old. We're about 70, 80 years old living here in America. That's the only reason why we're having some mercy. We just got here. But that's not going to stay status quo. He's going to change us. He's going to put some young people. It might be that brother right there. Become an engineer and a sheikh at the same time. Might be those sisters in the back that become leaders and teachers and writing books and translating Qur'ans. It might be them that see the glory of success of being a good Muslim. Because we're old and stubborn. Also says, Kuntum khayra ummatin ukhrijat lin-nas. You are the best community extracted from the total human race. The Muslim Ummah is the best community extracted from the human race for the following reasons. Ta'muruna bil ma'ruf. Because you invite people to stay away from, you invite people to good. Anil munkar. وَتَنْهَوْنَا عَلَى الْمُنْكَرِ. And you forbid people to engage in sin. وَتُؤْمِنُونَ بِاللَّهِ. And you believe in Allah Azza wa Jal. These are the conditions as to why Allah says you are the best. When we are reading Quran and sharing it with others, like this man over here, we play on baseball teams. He retired, but I still play. But the guys, they see how I act. I talk to them about the religion. I pass out Qur'ans to some of these brothers. I pass out literature to some of these brothers. Because they see me. They can see that I used to be something like Ray Ray, but they see a different kind of cat. But he's not Ray Ray. He doesn't cuss one time. See, that's just something, look at her. He turned his head. He didn't even look. So you can see something different from them, but something like them. Because I was like them. But I went back to my brothers to go help them out. When we engage in these things, we become successful. Allah says, Ya ayyuhan nas. Yes. Ya ayyuhan nas. Kulu mimma fil ard. Eat of what is lawful in the earth. Halala. Wa tayyiba. Let's read that again. Ya ayyuhan nasu. Kulu mimma fil ardi. Halalan tayyiba. Eat that in the earth which is halal and pure for you, beneficial for you, helpful to your nourishment, to your nurturing of health. Then he says, وَلَا تَتَّبِعُوا خُطُوَاتِ الشَّيْطَانِ. Do not follow the footsteps of shaitan. You've had Muslims from a long time ago. Now I'm talking about those who followed Musa. And those before Musa, Muslims that followed Shaitan. Musa, they walk out of Egypt, they see all the miracles, and when they get across the other side, they still worship a cow. He says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, idkhulu fi silmi ka'athata wa la tattabi'u خطوات الشيطان إنه لكم عدو مبين يا أيها الذين آمنوا ادخلوا في السلم كافة. Enter into this religion with a whole heart. Enter wholeheartedly. Bring all of yourself in this religion. He says what after that? He says, وَلَا تَتَّبِعُوا خُطُوَةِ الشَّيْطَانِ. Do not follow the footsteps of the devil. Why? إِنَّهُ لَكُمْ عَدُوٌّ مُبِينٌ. Because he is your clear and open enemy. A hitman's coming to blow your brains out. You don't say, well, come on in, man. Let's get some cake and what have you, some potato salad. You can shoot me after that. That's not how it works. That's your enemy. You lock the door. You make dua, you call the police, and or you do something else to be ready for him. But you're definitely not going to let him in and handle his business. So, if we know the devil is our enemy, then treat him like the enemy. I know time has elapsed, but it closes out. Allah, he's telling us over and over and over again. He says, Inna shaytana lakum aduwwun, fattakhiduhu aduwwa. He says, Shaitan is your open enemy, so treat him like the enemy, not your friend. Shaitan is not your friend. And sometimes we have devils in our own house. Or people in our houses acting devilish. Then we warn them, give them some advice. Because at some point, if you're not going to stop this madness, I'm going to go this way, you go that way. I love no one enough to go to hell for them. Nobody. Go to hell by yourself. I would like for all of us to go to paradise. But reality says that we all are not going to go. There'll be some Muslims that will go to hell. So, in closing, brothers and sisters and brothers, understand that Allah has given us a ni'mah. He has given us a gift. He gave us Al-Fatiha. When no other community had Al-Fatiha, he sent it to Rasulullah, and in it says, Ihdina siratal mustaqim. Everything we say in Al-Fatiha glorifies Allah, identifies as to who he is, وَلَكِنْ هُوَ الرَّبُّ وَنَحْنُ الْعِبَادِ. He is the Lord and cherishes sustainers, and we are the worshipers. And then he says, when we say, siratal mustaqim, my servant will have what he asked for, what she asked for. It's a guarantee. You ask for it, you get it. Let's not throw it away. Let's try to be those who are constant. Some of us, we don't know how long we're going to live, but we are old now. I was a young fella, and I'm old. I got grandkids, but I was a young fella. Got new kids on the block. Young people who can take the reins and take us to the top, take us to victory, make this place a household name. That's your Wali Muhammad. People will come if we go out there and get them. We have some things to show them from the book, from Quran, from the ahadith of Rasulullah. We do our job, we will be rewarded. ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. ربنا إننا آمنا فاغفر لنا ذنوبنا وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا اغفر لنا ذنوبنا وإسرافنا في أمرنا وثبت أقدامنا وانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. ربنا إننا سمعنا مناديا ينادي للإيمان أن آمنوا بربكم فآمنا. ربنا فاغفر لنا ذنوبنا وكفر عنا سيئاتنا وتوفنا مع الأبرار. إقامة الصلاة. إقامة الصلاة.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah, hayya ala salah, hayya ala falah, kad qamatis salah, kad qamatis salah. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, la ilaha illallah.
So attention, please straighten the lines, close the gaps. Please make dua for the sick and the shut-in, those who are suffering from all parts of the world. Muslims are being eaten. Please make dua. for our brothers and sisters who are going through very serious hardships. Please pray for our kids living here in America, that they become the lights of the world in this life, that they benefit from the words that you have taught them, and they grow into their religion and love it and stick with it, and inshallah be a source of solace for us in this life and the next. Allahu Akbar. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم حميم عين سين قاف كذلك يوحي إليك وإلى الذين من قبلك الله العزيز الحكيم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض وهو العلي العظيم تكاد السماوات يتفطرن من فوقهن والملائكة يسبحون بحمد ربهم ويستغفرون لمن في الأرض ألا إن الله هو الغفور الرحيم الله أكبر سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين بسم الله أنفسكم وأهليكم نارا وقودها الناس والحجارة عليها ملائكة غلاظ شداد لا يعصون الله ما أمرهم ويفعلون ما يؤمرون. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم.